Undefeated featherweight prospect Ricky Steele. What's going on, Ricky? How's life up in Idaho?
Life's great, man. Life is good. Just keeping busy, having fun, living day by day. You know what I mean? Just absolutely. Thanks for having me on, brother.
No doubt. Idaho is kind of away from everything. Has the coronavirus or pandemic affected your life?
Of course, it's affected my life. It's affected the whole world the way it has. Just everyday living, is just weird around here. But to be honest, I'm very lucky to be one of the few that's been able to keep up with work and keep really busy throughout this whole deal. I do construction, own a construction business, so we just stay outside and just do our own thing. But I've been fortunate enough. I don't know any friends or family that's gotten sick, so you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's all you could pray for right now is that no loved ones are getting sick or even contracting it at all.
Absolutely, man. Prayers for everybody, and just hope you got to play it safe. Whatever your thoughts are and stance on the whole situation, it's just play it safe. I've got newborn baby twins, so that being said, I got to go to work. You know what I mean? Life's got to go on. I think the world's got to start spinning again. We're ready to fight. I'm ready to fight. That's for sure. So let's go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Well, before we get into the fighting talk, balancing having twins, man. Having one baby is rough, but having twins must be a hell of a challenge.
It really is. It was super rough. So they're 4 months old now. Up until just recently, they'll almost sleep. They'll almost make it all the way through the night, but it has not been the case until now. Waking up twice a night, helping the missus with the babies. It makes it rough, man. If you don't sleep, you don't recover. You know what I mean? Training, all that. It's just work. It's hard, man. It is hard, yeah. But totally
Now,
worth it, of course.
yeah, of
Yeah.
course, man. Now with the training, did you have to take some time off during was there a lockdown in place or any kind of quarantine that you had to go through?
Yeah, yes, sir. There, all the gyms were shut down. It's no contact. Actually, we just were able to start as usual. This last week here, we've had a full week of normal practice with the team and this and that. But I've done some garage sessions with some of my coaches and this and that, just doing what I can. Like I said, I was super busy throughout this whole deal, so I just kind of like everybody else took the time to spend with my family and just take care of business. So, and at the time that was what I was doing.
Throughout the last couple of years, health has been somewhat of an issue for you, having injuries and surgery and stuff like that. How is the body right now? How healthy are you?
For the first time ever, man, I'm healthy. For literally for the first time ever, I broke my foot for the first time in my first professional fight. Very first kick of the whole entire fight. Broke my foot. I had 4 surgeries on it. I mean, I've fought in 4 out of the 7 fights with my broken foot, and that's the story. I wish the UFC would put more thought into and this and that. It's like inactivity. It's not because of choice, to say the least. I broke my foot in the Ultimate Fighter show. I got, it was one of the best fights on the season. I did it with a broken foot, and so watch what I can do now when I'm healthy.
Yeah, yeah, I'm excited for you, man, because you've showed sparks and the style that you have. It's reminiscent of Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, man. Who does not love that style of striking?
Yes, sir. The new generation, if you will, like the ones that are starting to figure out the karate that can translate it into the MMA. You know what I mean? My wrestling's on point. I'm with some of the best wrestlers around here. Well, the best wrestlers around here. So, I very quickly got to fill that gap. And now it's time to just let it go. I'm getting comfortable in the cage. Like I said, I've only had 7 fights. Actually 10-0 if you count the amateurs fights as well. So, each time I'm feeling it. I'm getting more comfortable, and like I honestly feel I'm just getting started. I no doubt about it.
Yeah, let's go back to the Contender Series last year. You went in there, you got the win, split decision. Were you satisfied with that performance that you had?
I was satisfied with the performance. I mean, the fact that it was a split decision makes me want to scream. I felt I dominated all but 30 seconds of the fight. I threw many fight potential ending shots. You know what I mean? Like I did drop him. I hurt him. I mean, I don't know what to say. I dominated another undefeated fighter, a prospect that, you know what I mean? Obviously, the UFC has their eyes on. I beat him. I made it look easy. I mean, he's a tough guy. The one shot he did get me with was a hell of a shot. You know what I mean? But, I fought through like I always do. I always come up on top. I never give up. You gotta put me out before I quit. You know what I mean? And he wasn't able to do it. You know what I mean? So it's just the situations as well. I'm one of the only ones to fight in that environment, plus the Ultimate Fighter, and I raise to the occasion every time. So I don't know what else I got to do. I know the knockouts, they'll come though. You know what I mean? They will come.
Yeah, definitely. You have that style, man, and at the highest level, you're not gonna get a knockout every single fight. When the fans expect that, it's almost like you're expecting something unrealistic.
That's the truth. That's the truth, man. And from the get go, we've kind of tried to take the fast track with my career. We always took the hardest fights. After my second pro fight, I was signed with the RFA, and went out there in Minnesota, beat another undefeated fighter with a broken foot. Trained my whole camp with a broken foot. Like that was a special fight for me. I learned an awful lot because of the broken foot. I had to train a lot different. I wasn't able to do the runs like I always do, and a lot of the kicking and stuff. I just sparred, I wrestled, I grappled as hard as I could. Everything I did was 100%, but I never gassed so fast in a fight in my whole entire life. You know what I mean? And it's just like, well, what the heck? And so then I learned, how you're actually supposed to train. I really dug into the science of it and stuff like that. But, that being said, I was there to fight. I was not going to give up. You know what I mean? I beat the guy. He's another unanimous decision. And so I learned a lot about myself. And, from there, I was able to learn about conditioning. Now it's one of my biggest weapons. You know what I mean? I'm always the one now pushing the pace and fighting hard to the end.
You're very satisfied with the performance that you had on Contender Series, but then after the fight, Dana White comes out and says that you look rusty. Hearing that from him, it's like, man, how crushing was that? It's got to be crushing somewhat.
It was bad, man. Like, he came out and it was very cool to say the split decision was bullshit. That was cool, but at the same time, Russ, I had an answer for everything. I was I was in control of every second of that whole fight. I was piecing them apart, like, the strikes like that. So I don't know. I saw an interview afterwards as well that, Dana White likes me, he says, and I do believe it, but I think it's, they're looking for the other, I don't know what they're looking for, honestly. I think, it's the knockouts. But like I said, it's confusing. I honestly don't know, man. And you know what? Anymore, I honestly don't care. I want to fight in the UFC. I believe I belong. I want to test myself. But at the end of the day, man, I'm just gonna do it because I love to do it, man. I'm gonna keep fighting just because I fucking love it more than anything, and I'll do it as long as I can. So whether it's there, wherever. So it is what it is.
You ever thought about maybe even going overseas? Because you do have a attractive style in your record. You're undefeated. You have experience on the Ultimate Fighter and the Contender Series. Have you even, thought about maybe, or has anybody reached out to you from abroad?
Actually, I have had a couple of fight offers. They were short, really short, late notice fights for one. Risen out there, but it's, I don't know, it's just right now that's kind of a lot, you know what I'm saying? Like if it's for the UFC, it'd be all over it. Not that I'm opposed, it's just got a lot going on. It kind of, it just seems like a lot, but it's always been the UFC, it's been the dream, the goal, and so now it's just, we'll see, you know what I mean? Honestly, I like the LFA, they like me, so I'll probably kind of go that route right now.
Oh, so you're more focused on staying around North America and not traveling too far away.
I'm right now, I'm looking for, like I said, we're always looking for the biggest fights. If something was offered, I would absolutely entertain the idea. I'm not opposed at all.
On the Contender Series, there's a few fighters that they didn't get contracts, but then eventually they ended up, even though they lost their fights, they ended up getting a late notice, fight in the UFC. Has the UFC approached you the past year?
No. It's just, No, honestly, we put our name in the hat for late notice fights many times, and what it is honestly is the late notice fights. It's a lot of times they're looking to protect a lot of people. I'm a hard fight, you know what I mean? It's just I don't know, man. You know what I mean? It's just I wish I could get the opportunity. I'm trying. I don't know, but I know they put me in a weird position around here. You know what I mean? Like I can't find anybody to fight me locally. I can't find anybody to fight me in the LFA hardly. Nobody's going to step. I mean, because we don't get paid. You know what I mean? It's not worth the money. And I'm a risky fight. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to, at that level, get a record. You know what I mean? Like work their way up. And so it's been a bunch of bullshit, honestly.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that with, you know, what you've been through and the style that you bring. It's very complicated, you know what I mean? And yeah, the guys are out there trying to build their record. So
yeah, especially you know what I mean? Like it's always hard as is. It's always a lot of you know, it's always different taking a late notice fight, and just the style I present, you know what I mean? People would naturally want some time, but you know, we've been just recently heard the LFA, you know, they reached out saying that they're trying to get going again here soon, hopefully you know, as soon as July. So I said 35, 45, the first person that says yes, let's go. I'm a bantamweight. Every fight I've fought has been at 35, other than the Ultimate Fighter show was 45. I have some 45 amateur fights, but yes, sir, I'm a bantamweight.
Well, hey, you know, like that's even better. That's even better, right? You know, LFA, you know, has the Contender Series come to your mind? Would you like to get back on there?
Absolutely. That's the goal as well. You know what I mean? The whole plan was to go, like Dana White says, he wants to see me get another fight or two. That's what I've been trying to do, man. Like right before all this bullshit, you know, this pandemic started, we just been getting turned down, trying, and you know, I've gotten nowhere. And then of course that hit. Nothing's going on now except the UFC. So you know what I mean? Puts us all in a shitty position, but me even more so. You know what I mean? Like I said, I can't really fight locally. Not that I'm opposed either anymore, you know, but we'll see. Like I said, LFA just reached out, said hopefully they're starting back up. So like I said, first person that says yes, let's go.
I see it happening, man. It's undeniable, man. You get another win or two. It's, you know, even if you don't get another win or two, you have the record. You've had the experience. So it's like it's all about the matchup, I guess. If a guy takes a fight against you on late notice, because you know not many guys are doing it from, you know, what you've been saying the past couple of years. But Ricky, best of luck, man, and in getting a fight and getting back in there and building the record. And yeah, man, you should be in the UFC 2-3 years ago, but you know it is what it is.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, it is what it is, man, and you just got to push forward and keep training and working hard.
Yes, sir.